There's no question that probably the biggest difference in golf swings between the average golfer and the pros you watch on TV every weekend is probably in the motion or the use of the hips. In three ways, pros are so much different. They're much different with their sequence. They're much different in the direction and shape that they move their hips in. And they're also much better at moving them with more speed. So the faster hips is creating more club head speed. And there is no question that the closer you can get your hips to move like a tour pro's, the better golfer you're going to be. The farther you're going to hit it, the straighter you're going to hit it, the more solid you're going to hit it. But if I was to tell you that there could be a secret ingredient missing from your swing that's affecting all three of those aspects of your hip action, but has nothing to do with your hips, it's kind of like a key that's going to unlock a better hip action for you. And it's really simple, and it's coming up right after this, so stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. I'm on a journey to hit it longer and straighter off the tee, but also all the way through to the green, because hitting it long and straight and not losing golf balls or taking penalty strokes is just what makes golf fun for me. So, hey, if you agree and you'd like to hit a couple more fairways and greens on your way to lower scores, then by all means join us, hit the subscribe button, like this video if you got some benefit, and leave a comment down below. All right, so I've done a lot of videos on this channel about the way the hip should move. That, of course, one thing we would like to strive for is to keep the butt at home or staying on the wall or the chair behind us. And you can use a wall or a chair and drill that. We would also like to make sure that we've got some lateral shift down the wall. So if I turn the chair towards you, not only am I going to stay at home on the wall or even lift it, but I need to slide down to the end of the chair. See, I've left some chair exposed here. As I lift the chair, I'm shifting over to the left foot, and that's covering up the chair. So I do have some lateral shift. Every good player does have some lateral shift. Don't get fooled into thinking they don't, that it's just rotation in a barrel. It's just not true. And then the third idea that the pros have that you may not be as good at as them is the sequence. In other words, they're doing all this pivoting long before the club ever reaches the ball. So they're not powering the club down to the ball with just the arms, but almost driving the arms into the ball by the stepping over and turning of the torso. And we've talked about this in other episodes where that produces the swoosh way out in front, or getting speed out in front. But now let's talk about the small move that's kind of going to help you trigger all three of those actions and make you swing your hips a little bit more like the pros on TV. Okay, so most people who come to me and they've got some issues with their hip action, usually we can trace it back to a really poor action of the right foot and ankle. So we really want to trigger this excellent hip action with a foot action that looks like this. The right foot should be rolling in. So if you could do that, you could just practice it with both ankles this way. We're looking for a roll in as far as you can go. And you can go a long way. It doesn't necessarily test your ankle flexibility if you allow your thigh and knee to kind of kick through like this. Otherwise you feel like you're kind of twisting it unnaturally. But just do this, and then lift the heel an inch, and you'll be in position exactly to cause your hips, almost encourage your hips to do the right thing instead of the wrong thing. A couple common errors that people make with their feet that throw their hips off: do this way, throw the knee towards the camera. This tends to cause the butt to come forward into the early extension pattern. The other thing they tend to do is let the heel spin around the back this way, like you're squishing a cigarette butt. And what this is going to do, this general pattern tends to make us come over the top or even smother hook, pull hook the ball off to the left. So again, you're looking one more time to in-roll that foot and then lift the heel. Notice I've got the heel slightly in front of the big toe. Now, whenever you're working on a new motion or you're experimenting with a new motion, you want to take a small club and you want to take small swings, because speed is your enemy. You're just looking to modify the behavior slightly. So let's try to hit a 9-iron That's just a couple half swing pitch shots here. And I'm just trying to move my foot into the correct position. Now, as I'm doing that, it becomes pretty darn easy to keep my left butt cheek coming back home again. In fact, I can even get it lifting the chair pretty easily. Let's see that foot action again, causing me to kind of lift the chair a little bit. Once you kind of get a handle through repetition at speeds like this, in getting your foot to behave like this, you'll see that kind of automatically your hips almost have to get better, because your foot moving like this, it becomes really hard to make some of those other bad swing patterns that you might have been making, either the over the top, which could lead to smothers or slices, or the early extension that could just lead to a lot of mishitting and a lot of wildness in general off the club face. All right, so once you've put a whole bunch of repetition behind this new foot motion, ankle motion, then you can start getting a little bit more automatic with it. You can start stepping up to a bigger club and bigger swing. So I'm going to try to hit a driver now. We'll do the slow-mo treatment. We'll see if I don't make the foot and ankle action that I'm prescribing to you. All right, so of course swinging at speed turns any action in the golf swing into more of a reflex action, and so trying to control it at the speed that I'm swinging becomes more of an activity like, I don't know, catching the bullet out of a gun. It just can't be happened. It's just too fast and out of control. So you've got to put in your time and repetitions. If you have identified that your hips either early extend, or you can see in a video of yourself that your feet are just simply not moving like I'm prescribing. In some cases, some people's right foot doesn't even move at all, and those people might fat it, hook it, not hit for a lot of distance. So if you can really learn this ankle action, it's going to trigger a whole bunch of really great benefits that work all the way from the ground up, all the way to the shoulders, the turn of the torso, the speed of the club head, the quality of the strikes. I hope you'll work on this a little bit, and if it works for you, I hope you'll come back and leave a comment in the video. All right, I'm gonna go back and hit a few more. I'm gonna keep working on this ankle action, make sure that I've got it down and no bad motions are starting to creep in. But hey, thanks for watching. Thanks to Golf Development Complex in Moorpark, California for hosting us today. And if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Hey, take good care.